Welcome back to the channel and to Pike Hills in York, where I'm attempting to break par along with my friends and brother Chris, who's just swiped a 5-iron down the middle. It's a glorious day out there, muggy, flies right in full force, so I got bitten to within an inch of my life. Here's Paul Morris, or Chef Snipes as he's known on the airwaves. Another long iron in hand, and that's 2 for 2 on fairways found, and what a start from these guys. Just thought I'd show you the guys who I went on a trip with this weekend. This is Paul Hannon. He's the lowest of the 3 so far, off around a 6 handicap. And that's another long iron, and that's pumped down the centre, so suddenly under a bit of pressure as I walk to the tee. Here I am, resplendent in olive green, can barely see me on the trees. Not a particularly long course this, but a good one, that's for sure. The greens were certainly very nice. That's a hybrid, looking for something about 220. And I'm the only one of 4 to miss the fairway, and that looks a bit dodgy to say the very least. I found it. I'm getting nettle stings times 40 billion here, but I've got a shot. 52 degree from 90 yards or so. Managed to sort of thin this out, but got the distance okay, and we've made the green. Don't look overly happy, but when do I ever? Hope you're enjoying the content so far. What a lovely course as I leave my putt short. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps me out, so thank you. Hole 2 after an opening par save. We've got a 504 yard par 5, uphill, downwind though. Good drive required with the main road on the right. That's a feature of this course at the very beginning, so it seems. Just can't miss right. Please don't look at me skipping away. That was silly. 4-iron from 220 up the hill here. Could get it somewhere close. Unfortunately, that has not drawn as I'd hoped, and it's heading towards the bushes. Needs to get a bit lucky, which it has. Got a chip on here. All downhill as it gets onto the green. That did not react as I expected. Couldn't really go high because I didn't have enough green to work with. Didn't do a great job, and now we're putting for birdie from 20 feet, which is a shame. We've missed it, but another par, and not too shabby. Here we go then. This is a drivable par 4 as it plays downhill, and it's only 288 yards. 3 wood. Not quite sure if I can get there with this club, but I'm giving it a bash nonetheless. It's on a pretty good line. The fairway seems to camber from right to left, and as you can see here, I've missed it on the left, but decent distance. And that's a bit of a duff, but I've holed it. Unfortunately, only into the sprinkler head, and was still not on the green. So I made a slight mess of this hole, really, considering how close I was to the green. But there's another tapping par with the wedge, and we're still level par. On to the 4th then. Yet again another hole where you don't want to miss right, even though we're going back in the opposite direction. Very thick brush to avoid. As I say that, I've hit my tee shot left. Only a tiny bit though, and it's bounced to the right, and we should be okay. I'm looking at this angle, we've only just got away with it. This is only 70 yards and a sand wedge. Managed to clip the bush a tiny bit, but it seems like I've got away with it as the ball rolls down to the right onto the green. Nearly ended up in the bunker, but now we have a makeable birdie opportunity. Can we get under par? We sure can. Somehow managed to lip it in, and we're on to the toughest hole on the course by stroke index. 1 under par though, so confidence is high. 3 wood in hand, looking for that bullet draw that we've been hitting. Found it, very nice, and I'm sweating a lot. Straight into the middle of the fairway then, and we've reduced this hole to size. This is a 50 degree from 120, pretty good yardage. I was just about to say you don't want to miss right here, and guess what I've done? Left the club face open and hit a very, very poor shot, and now we're below the level of the green. Although it's not an overly difficult chip, just have to pop it on and let it roll up. That was terrible though, and we're suddenly staring bogey in the face from nowhere. We were in the middle of the fairway, and that was an early walk, didn't hit that hard enough, and ouch. That's a bogey from nowhere. Chance here straight away though on the 6th. Only a 255-yard par 4, so this is just a steady 3-wood. Although I've semi-skied that and left it short, but fortunately avoided the bunkers short of the green as well. So not the easiest chip playing uphill, so I'm flopping this a tiny bit to get some height and trying to get it stick quickly. And I nearly slam dunked it, but I hit that far too hard, and now we have a very difficult birdie look. Could have done with something a little bit closer. Didn't quite get that right, but a decent putt and a par save, and this is a lovely little hole. Only 130 yards, but we've just walked through a nature reserve to get here, and that was very interesting. Never really seen anything like that. Pitching wedge in hand then. Looking for something half decent with only a wedge in hand. Not much wind to speak of either. As you may have heard on camera, I towed that one a little bit, so it's come up a bit short, but an opportunity, and that is poured home with a plum, and we're back to 1 under, and a par 5 now, so another opportunity. Only a short one, but quite a testing drive. You have to hit a power fade around this big tree that you can see on the right, and I've done that absolutely perfectly. Don't want to overdo it when there's out of bounds right as well and trees left. But this is just about as perfect as you can get. This is a 5-iron from 195. Some bunkers short of the green. Thought I'd have no trouble getting over them, but that was a power thin. And I've rolled into the left-hand side one. Fortunately, it's pretty much green side, so not one of those horrible 40 or 50 yard bunker shots. This is just a splash out with a bit of rag. And here we go. Birdie opportunity after a decent bunker shot, and this for 2 in a row. And yes, you guessed it. What is happening? That's 2 on the trot, and we're suddenly 2 under from nowhere. Last hole of the video. Don't forget to stick around to the very end where you'll see the analysis of the round and all that good stuff. This is the longest of the par 3s today. Especially on the front 9, I've just piked a 6-iron exactly where I was aiming, and suddenly this is for birdie as well. And yes, you guessed it, 3 on the spin and 3 under par overall. That would have been quite spectacular had it not been for that 1 bogey, but 13 putts. Do not miss part 2 next week. See you then!